All right, mathletes, here we are measuring the spread of a data set. Sometimes looking just at the center of tendency is not sufficient to describe a set of data. So you can notice both here we have medians of 6, but yet we have two different data sets that tell a different story. We have this set number 1 over here where we have a large spread of data going from 1 to 9, and here we have a data set that has lots of groupings of repeat values and only go to 4 to 8. So we want to be able to describe this data more than just our centers of median. Okay, so one way to do that is the range. The range is the difference between the maximum or the largest value set and the minimum of that value set. Okay, so to find the range of data, what you're going to want to do is you need to find the maximum and your minimum. So the maximum number in this data set is 9. Our minimum value in this data set, okay, appears to be 3. Okay, so in order to find my range, that is going to be equal to 9 minus 3, which is equal to 6. So that's one way of describing our spread of data. A second way of talking about our spread of data is following our interquartile range. So the quartiles is breaking things up into quarters, into 25%, 50% being our median, and our upper quartiles being our top 75%. Okay. From that, we can talk about our interquartile range, which is our quartile 3 minus our quartile 1, and that is going to give us our IQR, or our interquartile range. So let's look at an example here. So for this data set, we have that list. So anytime we're looking at spread, it's going to do us a big part if we put it in order. So if we look at this data set and put it into order, we're going to have 2, 3, 3, 3. And as I'm doing this, I like to cross them out to make sure I'm getting all of them. And then I have a single 4. And then I have, it looks like 4 5s. Okay. Maybe putting a comma in between these so we don't get them confused. Okay. And then I appears to have 2 6s and 2 7s. An 8 and a 9. Okay, so after I've found these, okay, I can go ahead and first calculate my median. So my median value is going to be the number in the middle. So here I have 15 numbers. Okay, so I take those 15 numbers. I know that if I divide that by 2, well, the best way to do it is add 1 to your n. So do n plus 1 divided by 2, and that will tell you the number in that data set. So here my n is 15. I add 1, divide by 2. So the 8th number is the number that will represent my median. Okay, so the 8th number is my median. So that's after we've put them into organized list. So this is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. That 5 there is my 8th number, which is my median. So 5 is the median of this data set. Okay, so to find my lower and upper quartiles, so I do not include my median when calculating my upper and lower quartiles. I'm going to find the value. The only time I include the median is if it was an odd number set and I had to do the average of the 2 medians. So if I have an even amount of data, I look at the 2 middle numbers and find the average. Well, since this had 15 numbers in this data set, it was odd. The 8th number falls in the middle, where I have 7 numbers to the right and 7 numbers to the left. So I'm not going to include that 5. So of these first 7 numbers, I got to find my upper and lower quartile. So my quartile 1 is the lowest 25%. So of the 7 data sets, that's going to be the value number 4th in my data set. Okay, so that is my quartile 1 is 3. Then for the top quartile, to find my quartile 3, I look at the top 7, find the number in the middle, okay, which is 7, is my quartile 3. So to calculate my IQR, okay, I need to take my IQR, my inner quartile range is my quartile 3, 7, minus my quartile 1 of 3, and that is equal to 4. Okay, that completes our example for our homework in our notes tonight, so please highlight any questions you may have and bring them to class tomorrow.